Welcome, gamers. I'm Jim Houston with Craig Simpson. We're almost ready to drop the puck for an exciting matchup between the New York Islanders and the Ottawa Senators. New York needs to take advantage of the home crowd and put this series away tonight.
Well, the important thing is to bridle some of that early emotion and play steady hockey.
They can't afford to get into penalty trouble.
Absolutely not. A quick power play goal will take this crowd right out of it.
Here's a look at tonight's referee.
Jim, he's been around for 8 seasons and calls a pretty solid game. The one thing he won't allow, though, is guys delivering dirty hits.
We're just about ready to drop the puck, so now let's get down to center ice. Face-off won by Pekka. Shove.
A big, clean hit.
Out of their defensive end. Into the attacking zone. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Knocked down.
Great hustle and a great hit.
Brings it out. Over the line. Flattened.
Send him right to the ice.
In over the line. Turned aside by Hasek. Passed across. Into the attacking zone. Muscled off the puck. Johnson. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Blake with a blistering shot. Saved by Hasek. And he hangs onto the puck for the whistle.
His fillings are gonna rattle with that hit. He was pounded.
The puck is about to be dropped. Pekka won the draw. Moved back. Hit. Over the line. In front. Quick puck movement. Brings it out. The Islanders go offside. The players are lined up and ready for the face-off. Fisher wins the face-off. He gets taken out by Volchenkov. Out of their defensive end. Over into the attacking zone. Shoots the puck just wide of the net. Goes behind the net. Brings it out. Over the line. He gets checked by Hossa. Hunter fires it. He scores!
Jim, that goalie didn't have a chance. Oh, wow, what a goal. When you let a shot go from that angle, it's always tough to tell which way it's going to go.
Ottawa led in an early goal.
It's a setback, all right, but sometimes a quick goal forces everyone to focus.
Brings it out. Over the blue line. The coin checks him.
Lines his man up and knocks him down.
Played over. Out of their defensive end. In over the line. Sent flying.
You can't hit much harder than that.
A shot from the slot by Hunter. Hossa. Into the attacking zone. DiPietro gets his stick on it. Brings it out. Over the line. He gets rocked by Chara.
Helped him that time.
Brings it out. Over the blue line. He gets laid out by Nienema. Out of their defensive end. Into the attacking zone. Flattened.
Nice hit.
Moved up. Brings it out. Ottawa puts its checking line out. Shove. Brings it out. Over the line. Rocked.
That was a heavy hit.
In over the line. He gets run over by Nienema.
He really got his man there.
New York makes a line change. Scatchard shoots the puck. Hasek reached out for the puck. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Hull shoots the puck. DiPietro makes the save. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. He gets worked over by DeVries.
Now that's physical play.
Pekka shoots. Hasek made the save. Brings it out. Over the line. out of their defensive end. In over the line. Shove.
Lots of contact there.
A lateral pass. Over the blue line. He gets hit by Redden.
Talk about laying a guy out.
Blocked. Played up. Right in front. Turned away. Hasek covers up. This guy doesn't give shooters much when he goes down, does he?
No, he gets awful big in goal. He can still be beat, but it has to be a perfect shot. That's the challenge against him.
Fisher won the draw. Brings it out. Over the line. Thrashed.
That'll rattle your teeth.
Moved ahead. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Bowled over.
That's real action.
In over the line. Pushed. Over. Right in front. DiPietro hangs on for the whistle.
Jim, you can see emotions are starting to run high. There's been a lot of pushing and shoving after the whistle.
The action's about to start. The faceoff goes to Ottawa. Volchenkov cranks one. DiPietro freezes the puck.
I love what this guy brings to the rink. He's a fierce competitor, and he's got loads of skill.
Yeah, you have to think it's only a matter of time before this kid's a star. And the faceoff is won by Scatchard. Brings it out. Over the line. Checked.
That was a tough hit.
Moved ahead by Fisher. Over the blue line. He gets bowled over by Hammerlick. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. He gets taken out by DeVries. Quick puck movement. Out of their defensive end. In over the line. Delayed penalty coming up for New York. The coin is going to the box for hooking. You can see that the coach isn't very happy about this call at all. Ottawa is about to go to work on its first power play of the game. Let's see if they can cash in.
You want to establish a good power play early, even if you don't score. Builds confidence and keeps momentum going.
Over the line. Hunter gets pushed off the puck. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Big hit.
That was a huge check.
Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Knocked him off the puck. Redden moves it ahead at center. In over the line. Shoots the puck. Scramble in front of the net. Right in front. Huge save by DiPietro. Played back by Redden. Goaltender stopped that. Rocked in front. Shoots quickly. Blocked. New York under attack in its own end of the ring. Over the blue line. Shove. Fires. Hasek gets a pad on it. Rocked. Brings it out. Over the line. Shove. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Hard shot by Hunter. Saved by Hasek. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Leveled.
That's what you call a big-time hit.
Hunter. In over the line. A shot from the slot by Yashin. Great glove. Ottawa is 0 for 1 with the man advantage as the penalty expires. Over the line. Shoots. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Shove. Right in front. Short pass. Out of their defensive end. In over the line. Door slammed shut by DiPietro. Over the blue line. Pushed. Full contact. Over the line. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Brings it out. In over the line. Given away by Schaefer. Across, out of their defensive end. Over the line. Shove. Shoots the puck. Turned aside. Thrashed.
What a hit!
Brings it out. Over the blue line. DeVries with a wrist shot. DiPietro hangs on for the whistle. Steve Sterling joined the Islanders organization after a very successful career as a minor pro hockey coach.
Well, Jim, just before taking on the head coaching duties in New York, Sterling led the Islanders' AHL affiliate in Bridgeport to the Calder Cup final. And that earned him Coach of the Year honors.
Into the attacking zone, he gets roughed up by Chara. Brings it up. In over the line. He gets checked by Janssen. Out of their defensive end. Over the line. Crushed.
Jim, that's old-time hockey.
Over the blue line. Sent flying.
He leveled his man there.
Quick shot.
That one was way off the mark.
Into the attacking zone. He gets shoved by Redden. Ninema shoots it. Redden blocks the shot. Asham shoots the puck. Goaltender stopped that. And time winds down as the first period comes to an end with the score 1-0. It's time to get back to the action, and we're ready for period number 2. The ref is ready to drop the puck. Face-off won by Fisher. Bowled over.
That one rattled his cage.
In over the line. Rink-wide pass. He gets rocked.
He lined him up and lowered the boom.
Ninema now has the puck. Through center. Over the line. Stone cold by Hasek. Goaltender stopped that. Over the blue line. Delayed penalty coming up for New York. Hunter has been nailed for interference.
And the referee has decided that's worth 2 minutes of his time.
Ottawa will get a second chance on the power play here. And the faceoff is won by Yashin. Brings it up. End to end.
He deked right past him.
Leg save by Hasek. Out of their defensive end. Into the attacking zone. Centered. DiPietro freezes the puck.
You could see the look in his face. He cannot believe that there wasn't a penalty call.
This is what he's steamed about. Let's have a look at the reason for his argument. We're ready for the face-off. Face-off won by White. Thrashed.
No shortage of physical play here.
Langfeld rips a shot. DiPietro made the save. Over the line.
Hit. No ducking that one.
Brings it out. In over the line. Brings it out. Over the blue line. He gets hit by White.
That was a great check.
Out of their defensive end. Into the attacking zone. Sent flying. Passed ahead. Brings it out. Over the line. Yashin is brought down on the breakaway, and the ref points to center ice. Wrist shot. The ref is signaling for the faceoff. And the faceoff is won by White. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Hard backhand shot by Hossa. The shot is blocked by a coin. In over the line. Thrashed. Into the attacking zone. In front. Brings it out. Over the line. He gets laid out by Langfeld. Passed across. Over the blue line. Hossa gets dropped.
That hit leveled him.
Ottawa is now 0 for 2 on the power play. Run over. Right in front. Hasek makes the great glove save. New York has played a clean game here tonight.
They haven't taken a lot of lazy penalties in the neutral zone, and that's because they're skating hard and playing sound positional hockey.
They're getting ready for the faceoff. The faceoff goes to Ottawa. Brings it out. In over the line. He gets run over by Karpatsev. Pekka. Into the attacking zone. Shove. Shove. Scramble for the puck. Over the line. He gets pushed by Martinez. Simpson. Hossa gets the shot off. He scores, and we're tied at 1.
There's nothing as lethal as a quick and accurate wrist shot.
The goalie will be seeing that one in his nightmares. The faceoff goes to the Senators. In front, stick save. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Checked. Brings it out. End to end. Right in front. It's a scramble. Moved across into the attacking zone. Knocked over. Goes behind his net. Out of their defensive end. In over the line. Shove. Behind the net. Brings it out. Over the blue line. He gets hit by Sketcher.
He came up fast and hit him hard.
Played across into the attacking zone. Shoots! Hasek got a leg on it. Scramble! Smolinski now with the puck. Over the line. Bowled over. Passed up to the neutral zone. In over the line. In front. Shot quickly by Neal. So much of this game is about confidence.
Well, that's just it. Once a guy's found the scoreboard, he's always hungry for more.
Defenders should be keeping tabs on this guy. They're getting ready for the faceoff. The faceoff goes to the Senators. Pass to the point. Moved ahead. Over the blue line. Out of their defensive end. Into the attacking zone. Quick pass up at center. In over the line. And this time, they've gone in offside. There's a look at Ottawa's new coach, who takes over a team that is already one of the best in the league. The players are lining up at the faceoff circle. Faceoff won by Fisher. Knocked down.
He's a tough guy, but that was a hard hit.
Hit. Brings it out. Moved over by Simpson. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Martinez gets bumped off the puck. Out of their defensive end. Over the line. He gets pushed. Hit with a one-timer. Neal shoots quickly. Brings it out. New York makes a line change. Fires. Hasek turned it away. Long pass. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Shoved. Right in front. Fisher scores. Wow, what a wristery uncorked on that goal.
That was an absolute laser beam that found the back of the net.
And so they're looking at a one-goal deficit midway through the second.
This is when every player needs to double their efforts and really go for the tie.
He gets checked by Chara. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Brings it out. Over the line. He gets roughed up by Hossa.
Stopped him cold.
Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Shove. Scatcherd. Played up. In over the line. Fisher roughs him up. Moved over. Over the blue line. He gets bowled over by Hamilton. Over the line. Rubbed off the puck. Out of their defensive end. Into the attacking zone. Cranked him. Moved up. In over the line. He gets leveled by a coin. Brings it out. Over the blue line. He gets hit by Hossa.
He really threw him off stride.
Brings it out. Over the line. It's moved across by Hunter. Out of their defensive end. Into the attacking zone. Bowled over. In over the line. He gets run over by a coin. Brings it out. End to end. Moved across. Brings it out. Nice move there by Hossa. Over the blue line. In front. Saved by DiPietro. Out of their defensive end. Over the line. Sent flying. Cannonading shot. Played over by Hossa. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Pushed. Passed ahead. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Knocked down. Shoots the puck. Saved by Hasek. Out of their defensive end. Over the line. Checked. Hit. Goes behind the net. Mad scramble. Schaefer has the puck. Brings it out. In over the line. Bowled over. The horn signals the end of the second period. 2-1 is the score as we head to the intermission. We're ready to start the third period. About to drop the puck. Senators win that draw. Wrist shot by Fisher. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Wrist shot by Pekka. Blocked. Out of their defensive end. Over the line. Checked. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Quick shot from the left. Turned away by Hasek. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Rifles a shot. Smolinski misses. Out of their defensive end. In over the line. Hasek reached out for the puck. Brings it out. Over the line. With a wrist shot turned aside by DiPietro. Over the blue line. Rubbed off the puck by Volchenko. Around the back. Hasek gets the wood on it. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Knocked over. Brings it out. In over the line. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Rocked. Brings it out. Over the line. He gets checked by Payer.
He put him in his place with a strong hit.
Into the attacking zone. Pass to the slot. He gets taken out by Redden. Brings it out. In over the line. Scramble in front of the net. He gets roughed up by Asham. Out of their defensive end. Over the blue line. Scatcherd shoots the puck. Quick pass up. Brings it out. Over the line. Hard shot. Brings it out. It's played over by Hamilton. Into the attacking zone. Blocked. Out of their defensive end. In over the line. He gets leveled by Hammerlick. Brings it out. New York makes a line change. Hossa mows him down.
Now that was big time.
Over the blue line. Brings it out. Advances the puck.
Hit. He unloads a big hit.
Over the line. It's centered by Fisher. Shot blocked by Nienema. Moved up. Out of their defensive end. In over the line. Shove. Checked. Pekka. In front. Hasek reached out for the puck. And he covers up.
An absolutely huge hit. The one thing you can't do is play with your head down, and he follows through and absolutely explodes into that hit.
The puck is about to be dropped. An Ottawa face-off win. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Bumped off the puck. Stolen by Neal. Played across. Brings it out. Dumped in on the inboards by Martinez. Passed up to the neutral zone. Over the blue line. Thrashed. Out of their defensive end. New York puts its checking line out. Offside. The Senators are showing they know how to put the puck in the net.
They're a fast, talented team that can score. If you try to trade chances with them, they'll beat you.
The action's about to start. The faceoff goes to New York. Over the line. Bumped by a coin. Moved ahead. In over the line. Asham, wrist shot. Advances the puck. DiPietro comes out to fetch the puck. Into the attacking zone. He gets rocked by Simpson. Passed across. Brings it out. Over the blue line. He gets hit by Hamilton.
That'll give him some room.
Passed ahead. Brings it out. Over the line. Across. Right in front. Saved by Hasek. Out of their defensive end. In over the line. Checked. Over the blue line. He gets run over by DeVries. Advances the puck. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Brings it out. Over the line. Leveled.
Stopped him dead in his tracks.
Schaefer. Turned over. Hard wrist shot by Hunter. Hasek covers up for the whistle. The Senators are one of the hardest working teams in this league.
Hey, whether they're up 9 goals or down 9, they're still relentless on the puck. They never take a shift off.
And the faceoff is won by Pekka. Played across, in over the line. Shove, right in front. Moved up, over the blue line. Shove. Quick puck movement. Into the attacking zone, pushed off the puck. Blake grabbed it, brings it out. Over the line, checked.
He felt that one.
Out of their defensive end, in over the line. Leveled. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Centers it, in front. Great save! Hasek covers up.
This guy scored a goal tonight, and so far he's been key in helping his team press the attack.
That's so true, Craig, and it always gives a player a real morale boost when he's on the score sheet. Face-off won by Fisher. Brings it out. Into the attacking zone. Rocked.
That rattled him pretty well.
Out of their defensive end. In over the line. Over. Last one. Scramble for the puck. Behind the net. Saved by Hasek. Brings it out. Over the line. Karpatsev hits him.
Great timing and great power.
Brings it out. Played across. Out of their defensive end. Puck is dumped in on the inboards by Hossa. Martinek grabbed it. In over the line. Centers it. DiPietro is leaving the net.
Jim, they need numbers now. They need offense. There isn't much time to tie this thing up.
Brings it out. Over the blue line. New York pulls the goalie and puts out the extra attacker.
Things are heating up. Let's see if they can pull it off.
Empty netter!
That goal will put the icing on the cake in this one. They took their chance, but came up empty this time.
That appears to have eased the tension.
I don't think the last few seconds will be quite as exciting.
In front. Hard one-timer. Blocked. Center. Right in front. Denied by DiPietro. Over the line. Oop, post. In the corner. Pekka gets bowled over. In front. Quick pass up. Brings it out. Over the blue line. Pushed. Pass back. Right in front. Out of their defensive end. Into the attacking zone. He gets bowled over by Van Allen. Hasek covers up for the whistle.
Jim, this guy loves to pick goalies apart.
He's a true marksman.
Hey, you put him in the slot with a puck and he scores 9 out of 10. Doesn't matter who's in goal.
The ref is ready to drop the puck. Fisher wins the draw. And so ends another chapter in the great book of hockey. Ottawa has won it and now trails by just 1 game. From Uniondale, New York, I'm Jim Hewson.
And I'm Craig Simpson. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.
You